Okay, Assalamualaikum and good evening everyone. How are you today?
Good.
Good evening, teacher. I'm
Good.
fine. Good.
Okay, good. I know now is a great time for you to sleep, so I give permission to you all drink water or eat snake to make sure you don't feel sleepy, okay?
Okay,
Okay,
teacher.
teacher.
Okay, so today we will learn about basic concept of matter. Okay, this concept we already learned in Science Form 1, so I want to know your idea. Can you look around you and give me one example of matter that you can see?
Printer, pen,
My
Okay,
my
good.
chair,
laptop.
chair.
Yes, okay, good. It show you already have idea about matter. Okay, so okay, this is our learning outcome. At the end of the lesson, students should be able to state the meaning of matter, differentiate state of matter, which is liquid, solid, and gas, explain processes involved in the conversion between state of matter, and differentiate element and compound. While for learning emphasis, at the end of the lesson, one student can state the meaning of matter, two students can explain the kinetic energy and attraction force instead of matter, which is liquid, solid, or gas. One student can explain the two processes involved in the conversion between state of matter, and at least two students can differentiate element and compound and give example. So, we will start our lesson today. Okay, what is matter? Matter is everything that have mass and take up space. Have mass mean we can weigh it, and take up space mean we can measure its volume. So, for example, solid such as pen or book, we can weigh it, so it shows it have mass, and we also can measure its volume, which show it also take up space. So, solid is a metal. Next is liquid. You can see my glass here, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
this is an empty glass, while this is a glass with syrup. When I lift up both glass, I can feel that this glass is more heavier, which show liquid have mass. And as you can see here, the syrup in this glass is fill up the glass. So it shows that we can measure its volume, which show it is also take up space. So liquid is also a metal. And lastly is gas. As you can see here, I provide you with one picture. In this picture, we can see at the beginning of experiment, we can see that the balloon scale is stable. But when we poke one balloon, we can see at the end of experiment, the balloon scale is unstable. The balloon scale is unstable, so it shows that uh, gas also have mass and it also take up space, which we can measure its volume. Do you understand, everyone?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
teacher.
Okay, so if everyone understand, I want to ask Shuhada,
Yes.
can you give me how we want to identify matter?
I think we need to check if it can weigh and the volume can be measured. So it is matter because according to definition, matter that everything have mass and take up space.
Okay, great. Thank you, Shuhada. So we proceed. Okay, matter also can exist in the form of solid, liquid, and gas, as I said just now. So we need to know the arrangement of particle, the kinetic energy of particle, and also the attraction force between particle. I will explain one by one. But before that, I want to ask, can you see the particle in this class?
No.
No.
No, right?
No.
No, yes. So, as we cannot see the particle, I will provide you one way to make you easier to imagine the arrangement of particle in solid, liquid, and gas by using your fingers. So let's do this together. Okay. First, for liquid, the arrangement of particle are like this. Okay, so let's do this together. Okay. Okay. The particle are closely packed in an orderly manner. So the kinetic energy of particles are low. Why? Because they are closely packed, so they cannot move freely. They only can vibrate into each other. So the kinetic energy of particles are low. But the attraction force between particles are strong. Why? Because they don't have many space, so they can attract each other more easily. Do you understand?
Yes, teacher.
Yes, teacher.
Yes,
Okay.
teacher.
Next, for liquid, the arrangement of particles are like this. The particles are closely packed but not in orderly manner. So they have space. Okay, yeah, right. So I want to ask Adelina.
Yes,
Uh,
teacher.
can you guess what happened to the kinetic energy of particle in liquid state?
The kinetic energy is high
Why?
because it have space to move.
Yes, correct. The kinetic energy of particle are higher than solid state. Why? Because it have more space to move compared to solid state. Why the attraction force between particles are strong but less than solid state? Because they have more space, so they cannot attract each other as easier as solid state. Okay, next for gas, the particle the arrangement of particles are like this. They are far apart. So I want to pick one name. Aina Soha,
Yes,
are you
teacher.
there? Okay. Can you guess what happened to the kinetic energy of particle in gas state?
The kinetic energy of the particles is very high
Why?
because more spaces between the particles.
Yes. So the kinetic energy of particle are very high as they have more space, so they can move more freely. Okay. So what happened to the attraction force, Ain?
The attraction force between particles become weaker because there is more space, so it's more difficult for them to attract with each other.
Okay, correct. So the attraction force between particles are weak as they have more space, so they cannot easily attract each other. Okay, good. Do you all understand?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
So if everyone understand, I want to ask Hawa.
Yes, teacher.
Can can you tell me which state has the highest kinetic energy?
Gas.
Why?
Because just like Aina Soha said, the kinetic energy is high and they are far apart.
Okay, correct. Thank you, Hawa. Next, I want to ask Adlina. Can you tell me which state has the highest attraction force?
Highest attraction force, solid
Why?
because the kinetic energy is low.
Yes, because they are closely packed. So the attraction force between them will become strong as they are tight and packed. Do you understand?
Yes, teacher.
Okay. Next, we will proceed to change in the state of matter, which is the conversion among state of matter through the process of heat absorb or heat release. There are six processes of conversion, which is melting, sublimation, boiling or evaporation, freezing, deposition, and condensation. So I will explain one by one. For the first process is melting. This process involves solid turn to liquid. As you can see in this picture, ice cream which is in solid state will absorb heat, then turn to liquid. This process we call as melting. Next, for the second process is boiling or evaporation. In this process, it involves the conversion of liquid to gas. So, as we can see here, the process of boiling water. The water is in liquid state. So when we boil it, it will absorb heat, then produce a water vapor which is in gas state. Next, the third process is freezing, which is involve the process conversion of liquid to solid. For example, when you see your mother put water in the freezer, the water is in liquid state. When we put it in freezer, it will release heat and turn to ice cube, which is in solid state. So the process is called as freezing. Do you understand, class?
Yes.
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 Okay, so as the three process above, I already explained. So I want to ask Hawa, are you here?
Yes, teacher, I'm here.
Can you tell me the example of condensation process that you can see in your daily life activity?
If it's from daily life, I think I always see condensation on a glass of cold water, because when the glass is cold, the water molecule in the air will hit the surface, right? And it turn into water droplet. I think that is condensation.
Okay, good example, Hawa. Good job. I will give another example, which is a steamer mirror in our bathroom. A steamer mirror is when we produce when we use heater. So the warm water vapor will make contact with the cooler surface of mirror. So the warm water vapor is in gas state. When it make contact with cooler mirror, it will release heat and form a droplet of water which is in liquid state. Do you understand, class?
Yes.
Okay.
Understand.
Yes.
Okay, next we will proceed to the sublimation and deposition. Sublimation is the conversion of solid to gas without going through liquid. It involves the heat absorbed, while for deposition, it is the conversion of gas to solid without going through liquid, and it involves release of heat. So I think these two process we rarely see in our daily life activities. So I provide you with one video to make you more understand. So let's watch together.
It's a dark, black bluish solid at room temperature. Iodine is the heaviest of the stable halogens. When we heat up the iodine, it's going to turn directly from a solid into a gas. The iodine vapor has a beautiful purplish color. This process is called sublimation, turning directly from a solid to a gas. Now we place a cold flask over top of the vapor. The warm vapor will cool off on the cold glass, and the gas will turn directly into a solid. This process is called deposition. In this case, we are seeing the deposition of iodine onto the cold glass surface, where we would say that iodine is depositing onto the cold glass.
Okay, do you understand the video?
Yes.
Okay, if yes, I want to Shafika. Can you explain what you understand from the video?
From this video, we can see that iodine in the form of solid. So when we heat, it will form iodine vapor, which is in the gas state. It is known as sublimation process. Next, when we cool down the iodine vapor, it will form solid iodine. It's known as deposition process. Is it clear?
Okay. Yes, correct. But I want to ask, in this video, the person use ice cube. Why he use ice cube?
In this video, they use the ice cube to decrease the temperature as deposition process release the heat to form solid.
Okay, correct. Thank you, Shafika. So I hope everyone understand the seed process above. Next,
It's a
I
dark,
will proceed to this slide. Okay, matter also exists in the form of element and compound. Element is the fundamental materials of which all matter is composed. It can divide into atom and molecule, while compound is a substance that results from a combination of two or more different chemical elements, and it divided into ion and molecule. The key point here is element involve the fundamental material, which it only consists of one chemical element, but compound is the result from a combination of two or more different chemical elements, which show it consists of two or more different chemical elements. Do you understand, class?
Yes, teacher.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so I provide you with a picture to make you more understand. Okay, this is one atom of argon. So, this picture show three atom of argon, as element only consists one chemical element, while for molecule element, it is the combination of the same chemical element, which is this is hydrogen atom, and the combination of one hydrogen atom with one hydrogen atom will produce one molecule of hydrogen gas, which categorized as element. Next, for compound, as I said just now, it is result from a combination of two or more different chemical elements. So we can see here that for compound, it combine two different chemical elements, which is sodium and chlorine. So it will produce sodium chloride. While for this picture, we can see that the hydrogen combine with oxygen to produce water molecule. But how to differentiate between ion compound and molecule compound? By check the metal chemical element or non-metal chemical element. For ion compound, it is the combination of non-metal chemical element with metal chemical element. So I want to ask Shuhada. From Shuhada, are you here?
Yes. Yes, teacher.
Okay. From this picture, can you give me which one is metal?
From this picture, sodium.
Okay, sodium is the metal. So the combination of non-metal with metal will produce ion compound, which is sodium chloride. While for molecule compound, we know that hydrogen is non-metal, and oxygen is also non-metal. So the combination of two atoms of hydrogen with one atom of oxygen will produce one water molecule, which categorized as molecule compound. Do you understand, class?
Yes.
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 Okay. If yes, I want to ask Shuhada. Are you here?
Yes, teacher.
Can you give me one other example of ion compound?
Magnesium oxide.
Magnesium oxide. Okay. Which one is metal?
Magnesium.
Okay, correct. So magnesium is metal, while oxygen is non-metal. So the combination of metal and non-metal, which is magnesium oxide, will produce ion compound. Okay, next. I want to ask Hawa. Are you here?
Yes, teacher.
Okay,
Okay.
Hawa. I want to ask. Can you give me one other example of molecule element?
Molecule element. Let me think, teacher. I think
Take your time. Okay.
if is hydrogen chloride is molecule element. Is that correct?
No, hydrogen chloride is not molecule element. As I said just now, molecule element is only involve one chemical element. So hydrogen chloride is molecule compound, as hydrogen is non-metal while chlorine also non-metal. So the combination of non-metal with non-metal is molecule compound. So I will give you another example of molecule element is Cl2, which is the combination of one atom of chlorine with another atom of chlorine. So it will produce one molecule of chlorine gas, which categorized as molecule element. Do you understand?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes,
teacher.
yes, teacher.
Okay. Okay, so if everyone understand, we will proceed to quiz. Before that, do you have any question?
No.
No, I think I don't have any questions.
Okay, so if no, we will proceed to quiz session to make you more understand. Okay, class, so this is our code. You can type it in Kahoot and join this. Okay, so I can see everyone here. So we will start our quiz. Ready, everyone? Okay, go. Okay, the first question. Which substance is a compound? Yes, carbon dioxide is a compound. I want to ask Shwada,
Yes,
why you think silver is not a compound?
because silver is argentum. Argentum is atom.
Okay, correct. Good job, Shwada. And good job, everyone. You all answered correct. Okay, next question. Okay, we can see Shavika is the highest. Okay, the second question. Which process occur when a volume of water in a pot decrease during a hot day? Okay, the process is evaporation. Congrats, everyone. But I want to ask Aina Soha, why you
Yes.
think this process is an evaporation?
Um, the water decreased during the hot days, so it shows that the water turned into water vapor, which it in gas state. So it called evaporation process.
Okay, correct. Okay, we can see Aina Soha increase. Okay, the third question. Which of the following substance consists of atom? Yes, magnesium is the only atom in the option here. Okay, congrats everyone. Okay, we can see Shavika still highest. Okay, next question. Name the process of R, S, and T. Okay, good. This question I want to ask Hawa. Can you explain this process in detail?
Yes, teacher. As you can see from the diagram, R, we can see that it is ice cube to water, so it is solid to liquid. So it is melting process. While T, we can see water vapor turn to liquid, so condensation process. While S, we can see that water turn to solid, and that is freezing process.
Okay, good job. Okay, thank you, Hawa. Okay, Shavika still the highest. Next question. What happened to the kinetic energy during process R? This process. Yes, kinetic energy increase. So I want to ask which name, I don't see it. Adlina.
Yes, teacher.
Okay, why you answer the kinetic energy increase during process R?
Because R is a melting process where solid turns to liquid.
Yes.
So, the kinetic energy increase because the particle will have more space to move.
Okay, correct. Okay. Last question. What happened to the attraction force between particles during process S? Yes, the attraction force between particles becomes stronger. I want to ask Shafika, why you think the attraction force between particles becomes stronger during process S?
F is a freezing process. This is because the water will convert to solid, thus the particle in solid will closely pack and the attraction force between particles becomes stronger.
Yes, correct. As it will become more packed, so they can attract each other more. So the attraction force between particles becomes stronger. Okay, thank you. So we will see the podium. The third place is Shuhada. Congrats, Shuhada. The second place is Hawa. And the first place is Shafika. Congrats, everyone. Because you answer all questions correctly. Yes, 100% correct. Congrats, everyone. So it show you understand my lesson today. Okay. So this is our summary for today's lesson, which is state of matter exists in the form of solid, liquid, and gas. There are six process conversions: state of matter, which is melting solid to liquid, freezing liquid to solid, condensation gas to liquid, boiling or evaporation liquid to gas, deposition gas to solid, and sublimation solid to gas. Matter also exists in the form of element which involve same chemical element which divide to atom and molecule, while compound involve two or more different chemical element which divided to ion and molecule. So that's all for today. I have posed one exercise in our Google Classroom. This exercise, I have set the due date, so I want you to answer it. Then send it in our Google Classroom. So then we will discuss in our next class. Okay, everyone?
Okay, teacher.
Okay,
Okay,
teacher.
teacher.
Okay, so that's all for today. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you,
Thank you,
teacher.
Thank you,
Thank you,
teacher.
teacher.
teacher. See you next class.
Okay, see you
Bye.
too.